His ADHD is so bad that the universe itself can be at stake and he will fumble the bag. And on everything I hold dear, I wish that last example was hyperbole, I really do. And it would be if it weren't for the prime example of this dude attempting to pick a f***ing sandwich as his wish over his best friend and brother suffering in a different dimension by the hands of the Lich. Oh my gosh.
We the living refuse to forget them!
Fetch me their soul!
And as we ride to certain death, we trust our successors to do the same for us! Because my soldiers do not buckle or yield when faced with the cruelty of this world! My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
A sandwich, bruh. A motherfucking sandwich. There tends to be a lot of conversations that are had about Jake the dog and how he's incredibly wise, a lovable idiot, the life of the party, overall just man's best friend, the magical dog that everyone gets along with, except for that one squirrel, the Duke, but we're not going to talk about it. What I do want to talk about and find hilarious is that no one ever talks about how Jake is the least clutch player in Cartoon Network history, and this might go over some of y'all's heads because yes, I know, I get it, Jake is a magical powerhouse. There are very few people in this universe that I would like to have by my side in a slugfest. If we're in a hairy situation and I need brute force, it's Jake every single time. But any situation that involves brain power, which is like 95% of the problems they get themselves into, he proves he's not reliable. Me and my buddy Jalen were just talking about this like a week ago. I'm gonna lay out the facts for you and I want you to keep an open mind and then let you decide at the end of the video, is this nigga clutch? Because I promise you he's not. Let's start this off with one of the most simplest of episodes and examples, Power Animal. This dude Finn gets abducted by gnomes and Jake knows in his gut something's not right. He knows for a fact that something's wrong. His literal brother has gone missing and Jake knows he needs to find him, but goes to show just how short of an attention span he truly has. Like not even for important shit like this. This dude is having dance battles with juke bugs, spitting game to water baddies, partying with fucking party god. Are you dead ass? Meanwhile, Finn's getting straight up tortured and Jake admits to himself that he is incapable of focusing on his missing brother because of his own failure in mental prowess. The only way he can do it is if he uses a wish in order to do so. Do you know how crazy that is? It takes supernatural abilities for you to focus on your missing brother? And don't get me wrong, take this video with a grain of salt because I love Jake as a character. There is a lot to appreciate about Jake the dog. His philosophies, his approaches to life, his sociability. No one in this series can converse and talk down radical individuals like Jake. No one in this series can make friends with all-powerful beings like Jake. He is a social butterfly that thrives off of human interaction and has learned countless lessons as a result. So please do not take this video as a shit on Jake video because that's not what this is. There are many types of intelligence that Jake thrives in despite the fact that he is a dumbass. So even though I have extreme enjoyment in Jake as a character, I'd be remiss not to call that shit out. Like for example, when PB tried to let Finn know that Flame Princess was emotionally unstable and Finn was avoiding her the entire episode, so she tried to tell Jake and Jake did not listen to a fucking word. Like not even a little bit, dog. PB could have simplified it, but Jake was in a whole different world. Bro zoned out, zoned back in, and then went, bitch, you jealous. What? And it's crazy because it's all centered around the fact that Jake is just incapable of focusing. His ADHD is so bad that the universe itself can be at stake and he will fumble the bag. And on everything I hold dear, I wish that last example was hyperbole, I really do. And it would be if it weren't for the prime example of this dude attempting to pick a fucking sandwich as his wish over his best friend and brother suffering in a different dimension by the hands of the Lich. Oh my gosh. Thank God that Jake is such a likable person and Prismo is a real ass nigga because what the shit, Jake? It's on the big screen. It's right there, you're looking at it. And I understand not necessarily knowing what to wish for, but you would rather waste it on a damn sandwich? Like Prismo had to talk you into the wish. You didn't even come up with it yourself. It's plot. It's plot all the way, because if it wasn't for Prismo being so lonely and Jake giving such great advice, everything about this TV show post season 5 would be completely different. And thankfully, one of the best parts about Jake as a character is his development throughout the series, because earlier on I just thought he was doing this shit to himself on purpose, cause Jake would actively do stuff that would just leave me dumbfounded. Like the time he tricked himself into believing he was the gut grinder. He knows for a fact it wasn't him, but he let these people peer pressure him into thinking that it was him, so much so that he actually became the gut grinder. That thought process is so insane to me. This fool literally went, what if I'm the gut grinder and we don't even know it? It's happening, I'm becoming the gut grinder. If I were Finn, I'd look at this nigga like, what? And his mind is always playing weird tricks and doing shit to himself. Like the time he stole the boots in the City of Thieves, or the time he subconsciously stole the donut from the witch, then didn't even realize he did it, and then let his ego get in the way of saving Finn in the process. Or the one time he chose to become a pacifist and choose non-violence because he accidentally hurt Finn, which was completely understandable at first because of his trauma with his dad, only for this dude to then take it too far and just let Finn get turned into a crystal. Like you're watching Finn get painfully transmuted into a crystal, and at no point did you think that maybe this is a little bit bigger than my control issues. Shit, we can even talk about the time his son came to him for help to deal with his granddaughter, and instead of Jake truly being of help and mending fences with his son in the process, this dude turns it into a dick measuring contest with his granddaughter to prove who's the better skater for clout. Jake. Ain't no way. We could probably talk about moments like these non-stop because they span throughout the entire TV show, progressively becoming less and less commonplace as the show goes on because Jake does go through some significant character development, but the big moments are pretty huge, like not easily forgettable. Jake is undeniably one of my favorite characters from the entire series, and if there's truly anything I can rely on this guy for, it's to give me incredibly wise quotes that's going to change my perspective and the way I think, and to inexplicably sell the bag at astronomical levels that I simply just cannot understand. And I hate that he does that shit. But funny enough, I wouldn't have him any other way because that's just truly who Jake is.